You told me that.
I would
You
never
said
tell
stop
anybody
touching the
stop,
guitar.
stop.
No, stop touching the top of it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you told me.
Well, not the pick guard.
Yeah.
Cause I keep, look here, can you see that little place on that top?
Yeah.
See right there?
5 minutes to show. Okay.
5 minutes to show.
I thought you were gonna say 5.
You're going on in 10 minutes. You're going It's a cold intro from Bradford. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Ed. What was the name of the original theme? The Wookiee Strut?
Shuffle. The third word is shuffle.
Shuffle. The Wookiee Foot Shuffle?
That's the name.
Did you play on that?
I've played it, but
Yeah.
I don't have to play it anymore.
The,
It used to be the theme song to this show.
here I am. Okay.
See standby?
Go ahead and slate.
Slating.
Well, hello. Glad to have you with us for Red Barn Radio. Tonight, I'm Bradford Becker. We continue in our 22nd season of Red Barn Radio, and we welcome you to show number 841. And what an 841st program it is. Tonight, Red Barn Radio brings you two super talented brothers, Aaron and Adam Bibelhauser. If you've listened to Red Barn Radio over the years or get out regularly to hear live music, you've most certainly had the pleasure of hearing Aaron do his music. He does all kinds of instruments, including banjo. He's joined up with the bands such as the Wooks and Wolf Pen Branch over the years, and also pitched in on countless recordings as a session player. Twin brother Adam here for the first time. Great to have you here, Adam. He has spent the past 2 decades developing one of the most powerful voices in bluegrass music in his own style as a bassist. He is also a guitarist. His commanding presence, grit, and grace, both on and off stage, are in a league of their own. And he's also a new dad, by the way. Welcome Aaron and Adam Bibelhauser to Red Barn Radio.
Good to be here.
With an aching back, blood, tears, and sweat, blue-collar dreams keep me in debt. Can't tell you why I don't leave this old one-horse town behind. Why my good intentions wither on the vine. Hustling for nickels, but I can't save a dime. Try to walk that straight and narrow line. I need a small vacation, but I ain't got the time. Bright and early, I'll be back to the grind. With an aching back, blood, tears, and sweat, blue-collar dreams keep me in debt. I can't tell you why I don't leave this old one-horse town behind. Why my good intentions wither on the vine. Paycheck ain't the way things ought to be. Hard times, they seem to never end. Yesterday the groceries, today I'll pay the rent. By Friday all my money will be spent. With an aching back, blood, tears, and sweat, blue-collar dreams keep me in debt. Can't tell you why I don't leave this old one-horse town behind. While my good intentions wither on the vine. With an aching back, blood, tears, and sweat, blue-collar dreams keep me in debt. Can't tell you why I don't leave this old one-horse town behind. While my good intentions withered on the vine. Well, I'll kick the can a little further down the line. While my good intentions withered on the vine.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
In addition to writing songs recorded by award-winning bluegrass artists including Del McCoury, Balsam Range, Michael Cleveland, and Dale Ann Bradley, Aaron Bibelhauser is sought after as a songwriter, vocalist, solo recording artist, and band leader. Aaron has spent the past 20 years working with several Kentucky-based ensembles and hustling as a side guy and utility player on banjo, pedal steel, guitar, dobro, piano, bass, guitar, oboe, tuba. Any of those? Aaron and Adam make great music together. So glad that Adam's here tonight so we can meet him for the first time and get to know him a little bit. These guys have a way of gathering together some of the area's finest players to bring great music to those of us lucky enough to live where we do. Aaron and Adam are joined tonight by Jeff Guernsey, playing mandolin now. Are you going to play fiddle too tonight, Jeff?
Not tonight.
Oh, all right. He's playing mandolin. And Steve Cooley playing the banjo. He's closest to me here. Great to have you guys here. Welcome to Red Barn Radio and a great evening of music and conversation with Aaron and Adam Bibelhauser.
Sure good to be here with you, man. Yeah, great. Well, we're going to play a brand new song here. We've recorded this, but it's not been released yet. Shall we go for it? Yeah. This one's called Sleep 1,000 Years. Daylight shining through the curtains, creeping in. The rise and the fall of your breath while you're sleeping in. As I gaze upon your face and I wonder, are you dreaming of me in your slumber? Or am I the one that's dreaming of you lying in my bed? Are all these thoughts just make-believe residing in my head? Should the morning find me all alone in tears, then I'd close my eyes and sleep 1,000 years. Sleep 1,000 years. Big old moon shining all night long, from dusk to dawn. Nothing lasts forever. Someday we'll all be gone. What I'd give just for today to never end, or to know that when tomorrow comes we do it all again. Am I the one that's dreaming of you lying in my bed? Are all these thoughts just make-believe residing in my head? Should the morning find me all alone in tears, then I'd close my eyes and sleep 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Am I the one that's dreaming of you lying in my bed? Are all these thoughts just make-believe residing in my head? Should the morning find me all alone in tears, then I'd close my eyes I'd bid this world goodbye, 'cause I'd have no fear, and I'd hold you near while I sleep 1,000 years. I'd sleep 1,000 years. Thanks so much. We're going to do a John Denver tune here. This one's titled Wrangell Mountain Song. Sunday and it's raining in Alaska. 7 days I haven't seen the sun. Flying bush, flying low along the shoreline, doing everything I can to make it home. I can't wait to see the Wrangell Mountains. I can't wait to do what I will do. Honey, did I never say time goes by so slowly when I can't wait to get back home to you. It's been 3 years from the war, settled down now, and I've done my time to serve my country well. In the freedom I defended, I fly beneath the North Star. I just don't know a better way to be. I can't wait to see the Wrangell Mountains. I can't wait to do what I will do. Honey, did I never say time goes by so slowly when I can't wait to get back home to you. It's a quiet life out here among the mountains, in a cabin that was built with these two heads. McCarthy lies asleep beside a glacier, and it's colder now, winter's in the air. If you think they're wild, it's because they can't be broken. There's a strong and gentle people living there. I can't wait to see the Wrangell Mountains. I can't wait to do what I will do. Honey, did I never say time goes by so slowly when I can't wait to get back home to you. But I can't wait to get back home to you. There you have it, folks. Steve Cooley on the 5-string banjo there. Jeff Guernsey playing the mandolin. It's good to be up here with you guys. We're going to play another original song here. This is, actually, no, let's do an old standard here. Those of you guys who don't know, our good friend Steve Cooley over here spent the better part of 2 decades making music with a group known as the Dillards. And they were...
Well, we better enjoy it while it lasts.
We're lucky to have him around. Steve Cooley, we love you. This is a song about an old moonshiner. Well, Dooley was a good old man. He lived below the mill. Dooley had 2 daughters and a 40 gallon still. One guy watched the boiler, the other watched the spout. Mama corked the bottles, but old Dooley fetched them out. Dooley slipped up the holler, Dooley trying to make $1. Dooley, let me swallow and pay you back someday. Well, Dooley was a trader when into town he'd come. Sugar by the bushel and molasses by the ton. The revenuers came for him, he's slipping through the woods. Dooley kept behind them all and never lost his goods. Dooley slipped up behind her, Dooley trying to make it on her. Dooley learned his fire to pay back someday. Well, I remember very well the day old Dooley died. The women folk looked sorry and the men stood around and cried. Dooley's on the mountain, he lies there all alone. Put a jug beside him and a barrel for a stone. Dooley slipped the holler, Dooley trying to make it holler. Dooley left his fire to pay you back someday. I gotta pay you back someday. It's a lot of fun. Whole bunch of fun. Now we'll play an original song here. This is one I recorded a few years back with a band out in Fort Collins, Colorado. I co-wrote this one with their lead singer, front person, a guy named Mike Fenders. And anyway, it's taking on a new life of its own here with the Bibelhauser Brothers, and you're going to hear our own rendering of it. It's called Time In and Out. It often seems like we're just passing by, stopping in to say hello before we say goodbye. We go our separate ways all through the daily grind, working for our dreams. It's taking all our time. Time in, time out, forever turning around, forgetting where we're bound. Time in and out. Each and every day we shoot off at the bell, climb upon our ponies here on the carousel. Round and round we go, and up and back again, never any closer where we were and we began. Time in, time out, forever turning around, forgetting where we're bound. Time in and out. Could it be that we can't see how we work just to avoid, scared to see what's underneath the hustle and the noise? Still just two young lovers walking hand in hand, hoping that this road lead us back where we began. Time in, time out, forever turning around, forgetting where we're bound. Time in, time out, forever turning around, forgetting where we're bound. Time in and out.
All right. Beautiful.
Thank you, folks.
Wow, guys, beautiful singing.
Appreciate that.
Adam, Aaron, love it.
You're too kind.
Yeah, well, no.
Beautiful speaking, by the way.
Thanks. What I spoke or how I speak. It's great to have you guys here.
Good to be.
Yeah, I was wondering, when you all choose these songs, I thought it was great you do a John Denver tune. It's just, so for some reason, forgot about him, and really his albums, like Rocky Mountain High and Poems,
Yeah.
Prayers, and Promises.
Yeah.
They got a lot of spin time at my house.
Yeah, those did. This was off a little-known record called Spirit, and it had a lot of covers and stuff on it. It had, he did the San Antonio Rose on that record, and Polka Dots and Moonbeams, and some really bizarre original songs, too.
And
I
was
think
it
he
a
did
later album for him?
I think it was a 70s album.
I think we got it from our Uncle Steve. didn't
Yeah,
we?
I stole it from an 8-track tape.
Ah,
I stole it from my Uncle Steve. Not this Uncle Steve that's playing the
sure,
banjo.
sure.
Is
the
that
other
that's
Uncle
the one
Steve.
that had "Come and Let Me Look Into Your Eyes"?
Yeah,
on it?
it's got
that's
some great
good.
songs on it, but it is kind of a little-known record of John Denver.
Yeah, well, what you reminded me of is what a great yodeler John Denver was. He was great at that.
If he can only write or
super
sing,
talented,
he'd have been great.
super talented guy. And it seems like he kind of turned into a little bit of a comic character
Yeah,
later on in life when he had this sort of variety show. And,
became more of a novelty, right?
Yeah.
But it's a really cool song, and it's cool to dig up tunes that are, I don't know, I'm a fan of obscurities. Obviously, I run around with these guys. But no, it's fun to reinvent a song and have it take it on its own life. We recorded a live version of that. Well, not only here on Red Barn Radio just now, but we made a live record this past summer, and that's on that record too. So it's fun to carry on a tune that was so important in our childhood.
And John's one of those songwriters and singers that, because we lost him when he was so young, I often just wonder what kind of magic we might have got if he was still here with us. And I kind of think the same thing about my brother's music. It's just magical, and it just comes out. And it's, it's one of those things it's that talent that's inside of these people that can write songs. I'm not a big songwriter like Aaron is, but I've tried a few times, but he's an amazing songwriter.
He only writes good ones. He doesn't write very much, though.
Aaron, are you principally choosing the tunes that you all are going to perform
The
as
originals, certainly, yeah, the original
Yeah, sure.
material. But I mean, the cover stuff kind of comes naturally. It's Adam and I have been singing together for the better part of 20 years, so the covers kind of just come naturally. And when I say covers, a lot of them are bluegrass standards like Dooley or some old Flatt and Scruggs song or an Osborne Brothers hit. But those kind of just happen. But yeah, I primarily pick the originals that we do, and we have fun time coming up with our own little arrangement of them, with these super talented guys on the ends of the stage here. We're awfully lucky to have them here. And Adam and I get to switch off singing, so I can sing lead on something, and then when it gets ready to be the chorus, he sings the lead part, and it sounds just like I would be singing the lead part, except better.
So you take the tenor?
Often, yeah. You'll hear some exceptions to that rule here tonight,
But both of you can do that.
Sure.
Because I heard you singing
He
some
can do
high
whatever he
parts, too,
wants.
Adam.
Look at him.
Hey, can you go back to the sort of early days? Where were you guys born?
Louisville, Kentucky.
In Louisville.
Yep.
You guys been there?
This is as far away as we've ever been. No, not.
Yeah. So you're born in Louisville, and what how did the music begin in your household? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So my parents both were sort of musical, but it was very much a hobby thing. My mom played some guitar and sang Girl Scout songs around the campfire kind of thing.
Our dad sang in a barbershop chorus, the Thoroughbred Chorus, if you ever heard of those.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
right.
like quartet music. He would sing and sometimes sing the tenor, the high part, and sometimes sing the lead part. So we certainly were influenced by those sorts of, strong harmony singing.
Just as Paul Simon was, right? Paul Simon was
Right.
really influenced by the barbershop stuff.
I was mostly influenced by listening to him play the piano and sing so great all the time. I wasn't super interested in the piano, so I got to sit and listen to him all the time. Then when we got old enough and moved out of the house and got our own place, there we were. It was just the two of us, a private audience. Me, I get to listen to him play and sing all the time.
So did you guys share a place then when you were
Yeah, we didn't.
right out of high school?
Yeah, I think we graduated Seneca High School, by the way.
Seneca.
3 Seneca grads here in the room. Steve also, a generation or two before. But we graduated, and then I think at the end of May, and then by June the 1st, we had our own place. And that was when we turned 18. Let's see. So we turned 19, and we were starting to play music together.
I
So
think it
that
was
summer, we
that-
started figuring out what we were doing.
Either
was
of you
when
do
I first-
college? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that was the first time I ever picked up an instrument was at that point in time. So
Okay,
I
so
was a
you
piano
were-
player, but I didn't sing or write anything.
no stringed instruments
I
at
just
that point
followed
yet
the
for you?
rules. It was my teacher would slap me with a ruler.
Uh-huh. Were you guys rule followers as kids, or were you pretty compliant,
we made the
obedient
rules.
children?
He made the rules. He said, "No, we are actually. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so we had plenty of people getting in trouble, breaking the rules before we were around. That our parents were and teachers and everybody. Everybody was worn
yeah.
out by then.
The parents were worn down.
We didn't have to worry about following too many rules there.
College? Was that in the
But
mix?
Adam went to school.
Yep.
I learned a skilled trade, but
Yep.
Adam went to
Yeah, I went to University of Louisville.
And what'd you do there, Adam?
Got a business degree, and
Uh-huh.
I was working for UPS at the time. Spent like 20 years of my life there, and
Wow.
now I work for a different organization, and life is great.
Yeah,
But,
and what did you ever hurt your back doing UPS work? I mean,
many times.
can you
many
imagine the
times.
difference between being a UPS guy 20 years
Yeah.
ago and being one now?
Actually, my first year there, I was working 6 days a week. In my first peak season, a guy came up to me, and he'd been there for 30 years, and he said, "You need to move into management." That's what he said. He said, your brain will make more money than your back ever thought of. That's what he told me. I never forgot it.
Oh, that's great. And what did you? So what do you do now, Adam?
I'm in management for a pharmaceutical company called Amgen, and I run the U.S. distribution logistics.
Oh wow. So that sort of sounds like a traveling job, or is that not the case?
He
anymore?
works for the cartel.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
sort of a cartel.
Sure.
Not really. But no, it's mostly I run a site here, and then I run multiple distribution centers around the country.
But you're able to do that remotely?
No, I do it mostly in Louisville, but
Yeah.
I do travel a little bit. But,
Okay.
mostly out of Louisville.
Things changed quite a bit for you when you had. What's your kid's name? You have a new
My
baby,
daughter's
right?
name is Rosalie May.
All
and
right.
Yes, everything.
How old
changed.
is she?
She's turning 4 tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And you mentioned Poems, Prayers, and Promises earlier. I must have listened to that track 100 times back to back one night when she was first born. I spent the whole night in her room with her on my shoulder listening to that song. So good memories.
That's sweet. Yeah, I have a lot of good memories with that too. So when you decided you were gonna have a child and sort of start the family, did that was that a turning point for the two of you? At that point, were you guys playing a lot of music together?
We had been playing quite a bit of music, and it was right around the time just before COVID-19 when Aaron was starting to kind of branch out and play in a couple other bands, and it was kind of time for me to dial things back a little bit. And the timing was great because I needed to focus on my daughter, but then COVID-19 hit, and it just changed the whole world. And now here we are kind of reinvigorating our music together, so thanks to Aaron here. All
Now,
the magic.
now I know that I've taught school for 40 years, and I've taught countless twins and triplets over the years, and definitely learned that no matter how much they look alike, they're different.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if you could speak to that a little bit. Do you guys find that you mirror each other more, musically speaking, or do you complement each other, and if so, how?
Well, I think they're the same, two sides of the same coin, I guess. But yeah, we are an awful lot alike, especially when it comes to like making decisions and cooperating.
You mean you're both uncooperative, or both?
We are strong-willed individuals, and we have a good time. But no,
I have the ability to follow instructions. I just need to be properly instructed. I always say.
So
Clearly,
I mentioned
just
that
need clarity.
Adam did follow an academic path and then a management career. I am an electrician by trade. I don't do it much anymore, but I spent a couple of decades doing sort of industrial electrical work, and so anyway, when it comes to playing music, it feels like Adam will not be a management role. He's like, I'm just here to play music and sing, and you tell me what key it's in and kick it off. And he might be a little upset about some decisions, but he always just grins and bears it.
So for Adam, it's like this is play. This is not work. You already do that work elsewhere, and
It
this
can
is you're
be
here to
work
play.
with him. It can be work. No, just kind of just joking about that. My inspiration to do anything musical is purely from sitting and listening to my brother play piano all those years. And then when he picked up a banjo, it was like, oh, man, maybe I need to jump in on this because I like this hillbilly music. And it just turned into a lot of fun. He's my only reason that I play music is so I can sing with him. The only reason I learned how to play bass was so we could sing together. So.
And so did you all did Relic, and was that a joint project?
Yeah, I mean, it was a collaborative venture. We played music with those guys, Dave Howard and Chuck Sharp, and eventually Tavis Conley was playing drums in the band for a long while. And yeah, it just kind of fizzled out eventually, right around the time that Adam was becoming a father, and there was a pandemic that kind of wiped out everybody's schedules. So it was nice though that the entire time along that route of playing music with Relic, these two guys have been part of our music sort of as cameo stars. Either one of these guys would show up. Jeff would show up playing either guitar or mandolin or fiddle. He played fiddle on our very first record. Steve actually engineered our very first record, and I've learned so much. You'd never know it from my banjo playing, but I've learned so much from him just through osmosis. Just being around good energy.
Yeah.
Like these guys. And actually, Steve was the very first, I think, first time I ever saw anybody play a banjo or bluegrass music in person, live in real life. He had a band called Hog Operation.
Yeah, right.
For many years.
And Steve and I were talking about that, and Hog Operation was actually here on the Red Barn radio stage, even though neither Steve nor I could remember meeting.
Yeah, he was the first bluegrass band that I ever saw live was seeing Steve play, and then later he played a little role in producing our and mixing our record that we did with Relic, and then Jeff actually played on it too. So these guys have kind of been around, and Jeff says he's our dad too. So at least he's been saying that lately.
Well,
it's been a recent discovery.
I'm wondering what the inheritance is going to be like.
well, yeah, right. They have sources online for you to investigate that. Hey, let's get back to some music with the Bibelhauser Brothers.
Let's do it. We're gonna play a tune here that I wrote with my buddy Michael Cleveland, and it was recorded by the great Del McCoury, but you're gonna hear the Bibelhauser Brothers do it, and Jeff's gonna kick it off just like this.
Stern wheel steamboat, Mississippi bound, past another city and another town. My own true lover wants me to stay, but it won't be long, I'll be on my way. Through Pennsylvania, down in between Cincinnati, Louisville, and New Orleans. Picture in a big old frame, but I make my living stoking the flame with every hour spent shoveling coal. I'll miss you, baby, with my heart and soul. Well, I'll return to you someday. It won't be long, and I'll be on my way. but that just ain't my style. Tell you that I'd stay, it's a game that I can't play, so I'll be on my way through Pennsylvania, down in between Cincinnati, Louisville to New Orleans. Like a long, lonely stream, I keep running toward the dream, moving on, moving on. Like a branch on a tree, I keep reaching to be free, moving on, moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and before my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. Like an old dusty road, I grow weary from the load, moving on, moving on. Like this tired, restless earth, I've been rolling since my birth, moving on, moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and before my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. There's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and before my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. Gotta find me a place in the sun. Gotta find me a place in the sun.
You guys are good. Play a little Roy Acuff number here.
Oh, do you wonder why I love you after what you did to me? Oh, why do I think of you? But I do, it's plain to see. Last night I heard the night birds calling. It brings back memories of days gone by. It makes me think of you, my darling. And do you wonder why? Oh, do you wonder why I love you after what you did to me? Oh, why do I think of you? But I do, it's plain to see. and all my dreams. Our lives together, I think of you, and then I sigh. I just don't know what makes me love you. And do you wonder why? Oh, do you wonder why I love you after what you did to me? Oh, why do I think of you? But I do, it's plain to see. Oh, do you wonder why I love you after what you did to me? Oh, why do I think of you? But I do, it's plain to see. What I do, it's plain to see.
Thank y'all so much.
Well, we've got lots more music and conversation with the Bibelhauser Brothers, but I would like to take a moment to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams, both tonight's and on any Wednesday, remain available online for you to view at your convenience, along with our audio stream, compliments of WGAD.net in Central New York. You don't miss a single episode of our program, please, and be sure to tell your friends and share what it is that you like about Red Barn Radio. Hey, Warren Byram is our guest next week. After spending the mid-2000s as a working musician in New Orleans, Warren returned to Lexington, Kentucky to focus on writing and recording. In his many years in Lexington's music scene, Warren has collaborated with so many of the city's players, and I'd be challenged to name even half of them. Warren Byram and the fabled Canelands has toured extensively, performing regionally through Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Ohio, and Tennessee. In 2023, Warren released his third record, called Dreaming the Sun, which I've been listening to this week with great pleasure. We love Warren, the life he's lived, the rich stories and music his adventures have inspired, and I'd like for you to join us next week for Warren Byram and a great cast of supporting players with whom he will share the stage. And now I'm just go off script for just a minute to talk about something. We, for so many years, have had as our theme song the Wookie Foot Shuffle, which has been terrific for us. How many nights have I watched bands up here on the stage tapping their foot, some who were involved in playing that tune, others who are hearing it for the first time. So many of you who listen on the radio have told me how much you like that tune, and we will continue to love it forever. We, though, over the years, we've really refreshed ourselves many times. And I think back to the early years of Red Barn Radio during our first 5 seasons for sure. We were only bluegrass, bluegrass and all bluegrass. If you had not banjo or a fiddle, you need not apply. That was how it used to be. And then somewhere along the line, it seems to me, it was when Sturgill Simpson marched in here with his band. They told us they were going to play an acoustic set, and he came in here with a full bore, 2 big Fender amps, a drum kit, the whole thing. It was crazy, and I think that Ed and I looked at each other that night and said, I think something's changing. There's change afoot. And so ever since that time, really, we've sort of diversified our offerings here on Red Barn Radio. Many of you out there have talked to us so much about how you enjoy the variety of music and appreciate the variety of music that comes out of this region. It's not just bluegrass, is it? It's all kinds of music, much of it rooted in bluegrass, so much of it, all of it rooted in the South. And we love that, and it's exciting for us then tonight to sort of bid a fond farewell to the Wookiefoot Shuffle, and we have a new theme song that we want to share with you all tonight. The theme song does not yet have a name, and the composers of this tune have invited you listeners to share with us some ideas for names for this tune once you listen to it, and that could be a very interesting thing. We'll talk about how we might energize that in our social media and on the website. The song is composed by somebody I know well, Lucy Becker, who happens to be somebody who grew up in my household. Her buddy Elijah Miller collaborated with her for this neat composition. They worked with also Jacob O'Donnell on saxophone, Kirby Davis on sax, Austin Clark playing drums, and Christian Mullins on bass. And I think we're going to play that now. Can we spin that right now? All right. Wow. All right. Well, Lucy and Elijah and all you guys, great job on that. Makes me very proud, makes us very happy to have such a great tune, great amalgam of the modern and the traditional that I think that we're bringing to the world now. So it's a great thing. So back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program. We welcome you live on our social media platforms, broadcasting from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the grand city of Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome back to Bibelhauser Brothers.
Do 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 do. Hitching north from Santa Fe on the back roads of my mind, remembering a blue-eyed girl who shared my love and wine. Taught me how to laugh, and she taught me how to cry. Like a timberline rose in the summer snow, she was gone with no goodbye. Wyoming child, Wyoming child. Well, we covered Colorado in a timeless turquoise dream. She said she was a gypsy. Hell, she was more than that to me. Wyoming found me wondering just how long it would last. One Cheyenne day she slipped away like a rainbow crossed the path. Wyoming child, Wyoming child, Wyoming child, you make me smile in crystal memories, in dreams and wishes that could never be. We was hitching north from Santa Fe on the back roads of my mind, remembering a blue-eyed girl who shared space and time. Well, she taught me how to laugh, then she left me here to cry. Like a timberline rose in the summer snow, she was gone with no goodbye. Wyoming child, Wyoming child, Wyoming child, Wyoming child, Wyoming child, Wyoming child.
Thanks so much. Recorded that song a couple years back and had some pretty cool guests playing that little do-do-do-do-do scat that we do on there. Was Sam Bush playing the mandolin and Michael Cleveland playing the fiddle. It was a twin part. And we figured since we didn't have Sam Bush or Michael Cleveland here, we'd just go do-do-do-do, looking out my back door.
I thought I'd twin it.
Right? We're going to play another tune inspired by the great western part of our country. I wrote this song when I found out about the coldest place ever recorded, and it wasn't in Steve Cooley's soul. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
He's
I only
actually a
say that
lovable
because
teddy
he got
bear,
me with that punchline one time. But no, the coldest place ever recorded in the lower 48 states was in a little place called Rogers Pass. There was a coal mining camp there, and that just made me think about how awful it must have been to be working there. As bad as I've had it working different places, it probably wasn't that bad. So that one was inspired by a character there. You're going to hear about him right now.
When the final days of winter bring brighter shades of green, gray skies turn into blue and usher in the spring, I'll make my way back down from here on Rogers Pass. This Rocky Mountain winter, how much longer can it last? From a West Montana coal camp on the Northern Railway line, let the fast mail take my letter to that one true love of mine. Digging coal out of the mountain, down below it's dark and damp. Spent the frozen days of winter living in this mining camp. It was almost February sea when the coldest winds did blow. Lowest one recorded down to 70 below. From a West Montana coal camp on the northern railway line, let the fast mail take my letter to that one true love of mine. I'll be leaving in the springtime when the weather's on my side and the winter snow is melted up here on the Great Divide. Instead of just a letter, what I wish that I could do is jump aboard that train myself and come on home to you. From a West Montana coal camp on the northern railway line, let the fast mail take my letter to that one true love of mine.
Do an old number here. Feature my evil twin brother on the lead vocals. He's gonna. He is the good-looking one. Poor guy looks just like me.
I'm way less evil than you, though.
This is called The Sea of Heartbreak.
The lights in the harbor, they don't shine for me. I'm like a lost ship that's lost on the sea. That sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memory through your caress. So divine, I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on a sea of tears, that sea of heartbreak. How could I lose you? Oh, where did I fail? And why did you leave me? Always a sail, that sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memory through your caress. So divine, I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on a sea of tears, that sea of heartbreak. Oh, what I'd give just to sail back ashore, back to your arms once more. Come to my rescue. Oh, come here to me and take me and keep me away from the sea. That sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memory through your caress. So divine, I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on a sea of tears, that sea of heartbreak.
All right. Hey, I'm wondering if we could get Jeff and Steve to get by a mic so we could talk to you guys
I'll
a
give
little
you a
bit.
boost here.
That'd be okay? Would you mind, Jeff? Oh, thanks. So my research team has provided me with extensive
See me
notes.
okay?
Yeah, that's great. On both of you guys, so you can correct if any of the notes that I have need revision. So we talked about Steve a little bit. Aaron was talking about his time in the Dillards. He's a Louisville native. He's doesn't just play banjo, of course. None of these guys just play the instrument that they're holding. They all do different things. But Steve has been recognized as one of the finest banjo pickers of his generation. He's often featured at events like the Bela Fleck Blue Ridge Banjo Camp and Midwest Banjo Camp. As you say, he played with the Dillards, and he has been a part of many recordings, several Grammy-nominated recordings. And Steve, it is great to have you back again. And can you talk to us a little bit about sort of what you're doing at this phase in your music career?
Well, I'm playing with the
Yes.
Bibelhauser Brothers.
Yes, I see that.
And I'm loving playing with Jeff. We've known each other a very long time, but we never really have gotten to play a whole lot together.
And why is that? Just because you've both been busy with other projects?
Other
or?
things, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've known we're both older people now, and we've known each other since we were probably 12 or 13, 14,
Yeah, my research
something like that. It's-
team says you were born in 1971. That's
Oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
excellent. So-
That was my publicity agent. Yeah, no. I finally made it to socials to my Medicare this year. So
All right.
yeah, it was a big thing. Let's see, what am I doing? Well, I play on some recording sessions. I've got recording set up at the house. I do overdubs for people. I play with a gal named Bridget Kalin on occasion. We've got a little tour coming up to England and Scotland at the end of the month.
Do you do music of sort of the British Isles? And that kind of thing?
No,
What do you do?
we do some of her originals and some of my instrumentals and just a
Yeah.
duo thing. I play guitar and banjo or mandolin, and she plays the guitar. And sometimes if we've got a piano around, she's quite a good keyboard person. She's
neat.
got a few other vaudevillian tricks that she pulls out for the
yeah?
show. But yeah, I'm doing that. I'm playing with some other fellas that my friend Mark Rosenthal, he had a band called the Dozens of Dollars String
Absolutely.
Band. I'm part
Phil
of the
Wakeman
Dozens.
was part of that, right?
I'm part of the Dozens of Dollars with little Phil Wakeman and Mark these days. And I play Irish music with Mark in the Cloggin Band.
Oh, wow.
Play regular electric guitar, hillbilly country music with a fella named Johnny Berry. I'll answer the phone and go play with just about anybody.
Well, little Phil Wakeman, he's got a voice.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a great
written. So
singer.
we recorded a
And great mandolin
project
player.
with those guys that we are trying to finish up the last 3 songs mix-wise. But yeah, they've got a new project coming out.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, tell them, they're sort of part of our history. And
Yeah.
Phil Senior, who passed
Yes.
a couple of years ago, played with my daughter and I. So we spent a lot of time together.
He was a
and,
great fella.
Yeah, great.
He was a one of a kind.
I'll
He
say.
truly was.
I'll
He
say.
truly was. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's sort of what I've got going on.
Wow, that's great.
If you follow me on the Instagram, I cook a whole lot.
Ooh.
I found out that women don't really like banjo playing that much, but boy, you throw a piece of cornbread up there, a nice piece of,
You can't.
Get you a pork roast up there. They really like biscuits and homemade bread, though.
Well, thanks, Steve. I have a ton more questions to ask you. So, could you come back at some point, maybe with your friend, and so
Yeah,
I can?
sure.
I'd love to talk to you about the sort of history of bluegrass in Louisville, because it's just
Sure.
so rich. There's so much
Yeah,
to talk about there.
It's crazy. At one point in time, through the late '60s up till about the late '70s, it was kind of like Louisville and a little corner in Nashville, and the Washington D.C. Arlington, Virginia area was sort of where the bluegrass happened. And
So it's by the Birchmere there,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and it just all, at some point, it all went away. there in Louisville, it just like somebody snapped their fingers and said, we're done with bluegrass the way it was.
Huh.
But yeah, it used to be, strangely enough, the rock scene down there was that way too. And there used to be all those clubs and everything along Main Street and Washington Street. And all the major acts that ended up being on the radio back in that time, all the classic rock bands, Skinnerd and all those guys, they were all playing in bars there in Louisville, and people would move to Louisville because we had such a vibrant music scene. It was that way in the 40s too.
Huh.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to talk more
to
about
Jeff.
that. Yeah.
Talk to Jeff.
Jeff. Okay,
Jeff's
Jeff.
got a whole lot better story.
No, you got some good ones, Jeff. So Jeff's a multi-instrumentalist. He's played in bands throughout high school. He went on to work as a musician instructor after graduating. Get this, he toured professionally with some Grand Ole Opry stars, and we're talking about just these guys who play pretty good guitar, Steve Warner and Vince Gill. Okay, so my first question, Jeff, is like, what is it like to be on the stage with somebody like those guys? I'm thinking about Vince Gill, first of all.
What's it like?
Yeah, what's it like? I mean, to be on the stage with somebody who just plays like that.
Well, it's there's a lot of mixed things that come along with it. You know, there's some tension.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There's some joy and a lot of fun that goes along with it too. But yeah, it depends on the artist and their
course.
temperament, of course. You know.
Yeah.
And Vince will be the first to tell you that he has a temper. You know, so. That's why it would be tense sometimes during his show.
So, yeah, he was particular about what went on.
Yeah, and
right.
both of those guys were fun to work with, don't get me wrong, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And both of them, like, they're known as guitar players, but, man, they can both play drums. And, you know, Steve was Chet Atkins' bass player, you know.
Right.
And, but they all play, you know, both of them can play pedal steel and some fiddle and all banjo
crazy.
and all kinds of stuff, you know.
Steve and Chet did an album together, right? Did they do an album?
Steve and Vince?
Or no, Chet Atkins.
Oh,
and
Steve
Warner.
and Chet?
I've seen them play together. I don't
They've
know.
done
No?
some stuff live together,
Yeah,
but I
maybe
don't know
that's
if
what
they
I've
ever
seen.
did a
Okay.
recording. Now, Steve did a tribute to Chet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And so that was pretty awesome because he can sound a lot like Chet, you know.
Yeah, right. How long did you tour sort of with these sort of high-powered characters?
About 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that exhausting?
Not so bad because back then we were kind of weekend warriors, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we might leave on Thursday and play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, come home, and we're home until the next Thursday, you know. So
Yeah.
it wasn't so bad. And then, you know, there'd usually be a couple of, you know, tours a year where it'd be a month or so out without coming home, you know. And so those weren't as fun after the first couple of weeks, you know, doing your laundry in a hotel laundry
right.
room and all that. It's just so fun.
And you got to make a bus call. Otherwise, if you don't make bus call, it's what? Grease spot. You got to figure out how you're going to get to the next gig.
Ooh. Yeah. So, Jeff, do you do a lot of teaching now?
I'm not doing a whole lot because playing with Wolfpen Branch, I was kind of in and out so much that I kind of dropped students.
Yeah.
Except for just a few core people.
Yeah.
And but I'm trying to get slowly back into doing some more of that. Now,
Yeah, and sort of
you know.
selectively. And do you like teaching? Adults who have been playing for a while and who want to kind of refine what they do and develop their style? And
I do like that. That turns into more of, have you ever thought about doing this kind of thing? You know? Because they have so many ideas already. And I mean, I've worked with, you know, beginners, kids, you know, 6, 7 years old.
That's
on
challenging.
up to people in their 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Wow. Well, you're sure a great player. You
sure
know,
appreciate it.
yeah. Oh, I've been enjoying both you and Steve, seeing what you do. It's like you come to that place in your musical career. There's nothing you're trying to prove. You're up here to just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the music, and there's and what comes across in your playing for me is there's a little bit of humor that comes across in some of your lines and some of your choices that you make when you improvise, and it just kind of puts a smile on the face of the listener, I think.
Speaking of that, I would say, like for Steve and myself, that most of our solo stuff is probably improvised.
We haven't really learned the songs
And
yet.
so, but when you get to be our age, and we're close to the same age, I think we were both 18 years old when we met the first time, but you just, you get to where you don't care.
Well,
Not
well,
really.
You're sort of willing to get out there, and if you mess it up a little bit, you got another shot another time. You got to get out on the limb and start sawing.
yeah, right. Well, thanks for talking to me. Maybe we can do thank you, you guys. Yeah.
Thanks.
Could I get the Bibelhauser guys back in, and just a couple quick questions, because I want to get back to some music. So you all have now decided during the past year to do 2 albums, and one was Harmony. Was called just.
It was
Harmony,
called Close Harmony.
Or
was
Close
the
Harmony.
name of that one. Yeah.
Gotcha. And which I really enjoyed a lot. And then you made the choice to do something live, which is an interesting choice. Just given I guess I wonder how you decided to do something that way when you have sort of all the sonic options that are
Yeah.
sort of endless when
Good
you go
question.
into a studio.
Well, luckily both of these records coming out in the same year gave us the opportunity. We didn't have to pick either one or the other. We did, we had already accomplished a full-length studio album that came out in February, and that was a thing that was a long time coming, because there's songs that Adam and I had been singing. We'd been inspired by other brother duets and early country music and bluegrass, like the Delmore Brothers and the Louisville Brothers,
right.
Jim and Jesse, the Osbournes. The list goes on and on. But we did that whole thing, and these guys were both part of that record. But then in May, when we kind of mobilized as a 4-piece band, one of our first gigs, actually it was our maybe second or third gig as a band, was a Waterfront Wednesday performance in Louisville, and there was like 10,000 people there. Of course, they were all there to see Charlie Crockett, because he's great. But we got to play right before him, and we captured that recording live, and I was able to take it back to my studio and do some mixing.
The reason we decided to release that was because Steve and Jeff are so good at what they do. We captured something live that was magical. I thought it was better than a lot of stuff that me and Aaron have worked on in the studio with other people, or even with Steve and Jeff. There's just some good moments on that record.
Some really magic things happen when you just turn people loose. They're up here giggling about it because it's easy. It's so easy for them to do. But they did. I've never been comfortable with my own live recordings. I'm like, man, I could have sang that a little flat, or I flubbed a guitar lick, or usually it was playing banjo and singing. That was an uphill climb, trying to sing and play banjo, and I would never be happy with the way something turned out. Or we'd be ganging around one mic trying to sing, and you never could get a mix of something. But the stars all aligned, and we had 2 of the best players in the known universe up there with us, so we decided to make a live record out of it.
So did you do it? Do you feel like you did it sort of for posterity's sake, or was this a career move?
It was both. I mean, typically a bluegrass band putting out a record, there's just a couple of goals that you can have by putting out a record. Sell it at the merch table, which we already had, so it wasn't for that reason. Try to get radio play. Live records typically don't get good radio play, so it wasn't for that reason. So yeah, to document a moment, and it was pretty special, now knowing that that was the first month that we had assembled the band. Although we've all known each other for a couple decades, it was the first month, the first 30 days that we had been playing music together. And so it's nice to have that documented. We can look back and say, man, I didn't get any better at all since then.
Right.
In all seriousness, playing with these guys, I've told you earlier, I've been inspired by listening to my brother, and that's what made me want to learn how to sing, and then that's what made me want to learn how to play bass. But playing with these 2 guys really makes you want to really practice and work hard, because you can just hang on for dear life with these guys, and they're just so good. They're inspiring. That's the reason I thought it was a great idea to
Okay, so now I'm going to
capture
say
that.
something.
Yeah, good. Step up to the mic and say it, Jeff.
So, for me to stand on stage with these three guys, right? And he's over here just ripping banjo, you know, and playing. And then on slow stuff, he's playing all this beautiful stuff, you know. And then these guys playing, but their vocals, like their harmony. I mean, it's like one person singing the same part almost, you know. It's just so. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming from a guy who's been on the stage with a singer like Vince Gill, that says a lot for their singing. I mean, I just agree wholeheartedly. There's a beautiful and powerful vocal sound, and I would think that the live content would be terrific for people who don't know you yet. You know, to hear what you do on Spotify is one thing, but to see what you do and see how you do it and the connection you have on stage is, goes to me. That's why I am interested in booking somebody.
That was an added element too, is that we did have a videographer come shoot the whole thing. So we've got all the songs on that live record have full multi-camera pro video. Only 3 of those videos have been released yet, so we'll be popping those out throughout the year too. As well as we've already been in the studio recording some more stuff for a new project. So
All right.
look for some more, at least singles coming out in this calendar year.
Well, and we're going to roll out
Yeah.
a ton of
This is
video
Yeah.
for you guys. Yeah. So, well, that's great. Do you guys take care of your voices? Do you exercise your voices? And are you
His never
intentional?
stops.
Are you intentional about taking care of your voices?
I want you to note how few words that I've spoken when he's talking about how much I talk. The only exercise that I get from my voice is singing for my daughter. She's turning 4 tomorrow, so I sing for her every night before bedtime. But other than that, just running around and singing with Aaron.
Yeah.
I've had a few sort of not close calls, you might say, but like really bad episodes where I couldn't sing at all. And one time was like over 60 days of not being able to.
Oh, wow.
Like kind of losing my singing voice. It turned out to be like stress and silent reflux based problems with my
interesting.
vocal cords. But yeah, I mean, I should exercise more. I did go through a whole period of time where I was doing I was going to a speech pathologist and like therapy for that.
Yeah.
And I got it all back. So luckily it all came back.
Yeah.
I still
Goodness.
sing
Thank
just
goodness for
just
that.
as flat and sharp as I ever did.
Well, Bibelhauser Brothers and Jeff and Steve, thank you so much for being part of Red Barn Radio. And I'm so glad that there's more music to come, so we don't need to say goodbye.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's welcome back the Bibelhauser Brothers.
All right, here's another original song here. 1, 2. Well, yesterday you told me another's love you'd find if I didn't give you reason enough to change your mind. I know the path that I've been taking ain't the man I want to be. Is it too late to say I'm sorry? Will you stay or will you leave? It seems to me you're like a boat out on the ocean, beaten by storms. Beyond the bay, I can see your silhouette on the horizon. Are you headed home or sailing far away? Well, we've got the kind of love comes and goes with the tide. Always end up on the shore where the waves and rocks collide. But another frozen morning, still I'm lost at sea. But I find myself here dreaming, you're lying next to me. And it seems to me you're like a boat out on the ocean, beaten by storms beyond the bay. I can see your silhouette on the horizon. Are you headed home or sailing far away?
maybe with a tailwind, a little break in the weather. We could chart a course, just might bring us back together. It seems to me you're like a boat out on the ocean, beaten by the storms beyond the bay, and I can see your silhouette on the horizon. Are you headed home or sailing far away? Are you headed home or sailing far away?
We're going to sing a tune that's on our record, Close Harmony. This is a song pretty special. We learned it from a guy named Mickey Clark, and he was a big hero to us. But it's an old cowboy tune by Michael Burton. Adam's going to render the Night Rider's Lament here.
While I was out riding, the graveyard shift midnight till dawn. The moon was as bright as a reading light for a letter from an old friend back home. Said last night I ran into Jenny, said she's married and she has a good life. Boy, it sure missed the track when you never come back. She's a perfect professional's wife. Why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your share. Oh, you must have gone crazy out there. They never seen the northern lights, never seen a hawk on the wing. Well, they've never seen the spring at the Great Divide. Oh, they never heard old Camp Cookie sing. So he read up the last of the letter, and he tore off a stamp for old Jim. When Billy rode up to relieve him, he just looked at the letter and he grinned. He said, why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your share. Oh, you must have gone crazy out there. They've never seen the northern lights, never seen a hawk on the wing. They've never seen the spring at the Great Divide. Oh, they never heard old Camp Cookie sing. Yodelay, yaddy, yodelay, yodelay, hey. Yodelay, do, yodelay, yodelay. Kentucky, beneath the beautiful harvest moon. And I was the boy that was lucky, but it all had ended too soon. Now I'll sit here alone in the moonlight. I've seen your smiling face, while I long once more for your embrace and the beautiful Kentucky woods. We were waltzing one night in Kentucky, beneath the beautiful harvest moon. But I was the boy that was lucky when it all had ended too soon. Now I'll sit here alone in the moonlight. I've seen your smiling face, while I long once more for your embrace and the beautiful Kentucky woods. While I long once more for your embrace and the beautiful Kentucky woods.
Pretty. Nice job. Well, there are so many people to thank for our program. First, the Bibelhauser Brothers, who are our guests tonight. We are ever grateful for our volunteers and staff, of course, who make our production happen each and every week. We want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on social media, and those listening to us on the network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, you got to be sure to check out Red Barn TV. It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. You can also sign up for a weekly email newsletter we put together. It's going to let you know who's coming up next with bio and links on our upcoming guests. That's news at redbarnradio.com, and put subscribe in the header. Also, let us know where you hear our broadcast and what you think of the program. We always want to know. Now, before we close out tonight's program, let's bring back the Bibelhauser Brothers for one more tune. All right.
I've been here a month more, stuck in this old city. People have to call it home. They're the ones I pity, Lord, I'm homesick. Blues are the only songs I ever seen to fit. I get out and walk the streets like it blisters on my feet. I'm southbound. Well, southbound, she's burning the ground, and I don't mean maybe. Well, sure I'm glad I caught this train. I like to see my baby, Lord, I'm lonesome. And I long to see those hills that I come from. I get out and walk the streets like the blisters on my feet. I'm southbound. Well, I'm alright till late at night. I'm standing by my window. Well, I counted sheep, but I couldn't sleep. For listening to that train blow, I began to whine. And I hear that big old engine rolling down the line. I'm going back to spend some time with a friend. When you ain't got a dime, I'm southbound. Well, I'm alright till late at night. I'm standing by my window. I counted sheep, but I couldn't sleep. For listening to that train blow, I began to whine. And I hear that big old engine rolling down the line. I'm going back to spend some time with a friend. When you ain't got a dime, I'm southbound. Well, southbound, she's burning the ground, and I don't mean maybe. Well, sure I'm glad I caught this train. I like to see my baby, Lord, I'm lonesome. And I long to see those hills that I come from. Hear the engine rattle and roll, taking my baby home once more, I'm southbound. Hear the engine rattle and roll, taking my baby home once more, I'm southbound. Hear the engine rattle and roll, taking my baby home once more, I'm southbound.
All right. Well, that's all for our show for this week, but you can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can also listen to archive performances on Patreon, Spotify, and iTunes. Hey, remember, every like, comment, share, and subscribe, it helps bring roots music Southern style to your neck of the woods. Finally, this, if any of our featured artists are performing in your area, get out and hear them live. They need you now more than ever. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio now to all of our friends worldwide, keep working together to be safe and healthy. Until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.
Oh, we're just doing one more song, yeah. It's a Townes Van Zandt cover here. So we'll do. You gonna count it out? You're gonna count it out? 1,